Hello students, I welcome you all to this session. We are discussing EMFT or electromagnetics, and today in this session we are going to discuss about the electric field due to infinite linear continuous charge distribution. So I have said a lot of words and this might be scaring you. No, it is really easy. Okay, at the end of this video you will be finding out how easy it is to find out the electric field due to infinite line charge distribution. In the previous video, we have already discussed about the line charge distribution and we have already found out the E parallel and E perpendicular due to the line charge distribution, where E parallel is given by k lambda upon d sine theta 1 plus sine theta 2. What are theta 1 and theta 2? Theta 1 and theta 2 are the angles made by point 1 and point 2 at the point P. Okay, so now E perpendicular is given by k lambda upon d cos theta 2 minus cos theta 1. These are both the components which will be giving me the final electric field. So if I have to find out the electric field, it will be equal to under root E parallel square plus E perpendicular square. So now my task is reduced. I already know how I can find out the E parallel and E perpendicular. Now I will be using these two equations in all of the cases. So here I have the first case where I have the finite line charge distribution, but my point P is at the middle of this line. So here if the length is L, okay, so the overall length of this line charge distribution is L and my point is on the axis which is passing through the center. So this distance is L by 2, this distance is again L by 2. Let's take it to be the point O. Okay, so this is my first case where point P is passing through the axis of the middle of the line charge distribution. This is the second case where we are going to talk about the topic of the day, that is infinite wire. And here we'll be talking about one more case. This is a special case which is semi-infinite wire, and we will be finding out the electric field due to semi-infinite wire as well. Okay, so first of all this case. Okay, so here we have equal length of the wire here. So now if I have to find out theta 1, so I told you in the previous video I have to stay at this axis, and from this axis I have to calculate the angle which is the point 1 is making with this axis. So this is theta 1. So if I have to find out tan of theta 1, what will be the tan of theta 1? So tan of theta 1 will be perpendicular upon the base, so it will be L by 2 upon D. Similarly, if I find out tan of theta 2, so I wrote both of them to be same. Actually these are same here also. This is the perpendicular, this is the base, so L by 2 upon D. So I can say theta 1 will be equal to tan inverse L upon 2D, theta 2 equal to tan inverse L upon 2D. So I can write theta 1 is equal to theta 2 is equal to tan inverse L upon 2D, and I can take it as theta. Okay, so now both of them are theta and I will be treating theta 1 is equal to theta 2 is equal to theta. Now I have to find out E parallel and E perpendicular. Okay, so let's find out E parallel. Okay, so here we have theta 1 is equal to theta 2. So now I will be putting here theta 1 is equal to theta 2. So here I am left out with k lambda upon d sine theta plus sine theta. So I will be directly writing it. So here I will be having k lambda upon d twice of sine theta. Okay, so now I hope E parallel is clear. It was really simple. I had to just put theta 1 is equal to theta 2. So I can easily write down it to be, I am just rearranging it, 2k lambda sine theta upon d. This is my E parallel. Now coming to the E perpendicular. So here you can see theta 1 is equal to theta 2. So here I am subtracting cos of theta minus cos of theta. Okay, so this will give me 0. 0 multiplied with anything is 0. So E perpendicular is 0. So now if I have to find out the final electric field, so it will be under root E parallel square plus E perpendicular square. So this is already 0 in this case. So now under root E parallel square will be equal to E parallel. So E is equal to E parallel is equal to 2k lambda sine theta upon d. So this is how I can find out the electric field for this case. Okay, so here we had the axis to be in the middle of the line charge distribution. So okay, this is also a special case of this only. Okay, I will be telling you how. So here I have to first find out what is theta 1 and what is theta 2. That is what we have done here also. So here we have the infinite wire. If I see from point P, if I have to join the infinite point with this point P, so it will make the angle of 90 degree. Again here this is also the infinite point, it will also make the angle of 90 degree. So I can say theta 1 is equal to theta 2 is equal to 90 degree in this case. Okay, so now let's put theta 1 and theta 2 to 90 degree. So E parallel will be equal to, I know sine of 90 is 1, sine of 90 again it will be 1. So 1 plus 1 will be 2. So here I am left out with 2k lambda upon d. Okay, so sine of 90 plus sine of 90 is 2. It is multiplied with k lambda upon d. So directly I will be putting 2k lambda upon d. Now coming to the E perpendicular. It is again the same case. Now I have taken the specific value of theta. Now here my theta was not defined. Here also my point P is in the middle. Okay, theta 1 is equal to theta 2. Now we have specified what is theta. Okay, so now here when my theta 1 is equal to theta 2, so this term will be cancelling out. It will be 0. 0 multiplied with anything will be 0. So E perpendicular is 0. Now I can say E is equal to E parallel is equal to k lambda upon d here into 2. Or I can write down it as 2k lambda upon d. So this is my electric field due to the infinite wire. Was it difficult? No. So this is how we can find out the electric field. Now coming to the semi-infinite wire. Okay, first I have to find out both of the angles only. So here you can see this is my point 1, this is my point 2. So if I have to make the angle to the point 1, it is infinite in this direction. Okay, so the angle made by point 1 is 90 degree with P. So I can say theta 1 is equal to 90 degree. Now coming to the point 2. The 2 point is on the axis itself. Do I have to go anywhere? No. So here I see the point 2 on this axis. So I can say theta 2 is equal to 0. Now again we have to find out E parallel and E perpendicular. Okay, so E parallel will be k lambda upon d sine of 90 plus sine of 0. Sine of 0 is 0, sine of 90 is 1. So I can say it is k lambda upon d. Similarly, I can find out E perpendicular. I am just putting the value of theta 1 and theta 2. So here put it very carefully. So here we have cos of theta 2 and theta 2 is 0 plus subtraction. Here we have minus cos of 90 degree. So now here E perpendicular will be k lambda upon d cos 0 minus cos of 90. Cos of 90 is 0. We know this. Cos of 0 is 1. So this is also coming out to be k lambda upon d. Okay, so now we have E parallel, we have E perpendicular. So we can find out E. E will be under root E parallel square plus E perpendicular square. So under root k square lambda square upon d square plus k square lambda square upon d square. Now I can take k lambda upon d outside, because here I can take k square lambda square upon d square common, and under root of k square lambda square upon d square will be k lambda upon d. So I am directly putting it to be outside. What is left here? 1, and what is left here? 1. So here we have k lambda upon d into under root 2. This is how we can find out the electric field. Don't forget to put the units of the electric field as well. So if you encounter any kind of doubt, you can put the doubt in the comment box or you can reach out to me. I hope you like this session. I hope you will be sharing this session with your friends as well. You will be pushing the like button and you will be subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much.